I'm Annalise Hance. I'm principal at Painted Stone Elementary. Glad to be back as principal, but I started my career as a teacher at Painted Stone, so it's a school that is near and dear to my heart. I think one of Painted Stone's greatest strengths is our Love, Learn, Lead mission. Our students and staff emulate this every day and every interaction they have with one another. They love hard, love big, but also work hard. And our staff is committed to growing our kids to ensure that learn and lead part of our mission is lived out each day as well. Another strength, I think, for Painted Stone is coaching. We just secured KDE's math grant to where we've added an additional instructional coach to our staff, and so focusing on building the capacity of other teachers, making sure that we're offering them the professional development they need so that ultimately we can grow our students and close those learning gaps for them. Another strength of Painted Stone is just our partnership with community members and businesses throughout the community. Ultimately our students are going to pour back into the community when they grow up, and so making sure we're introducing them to businesses out within Shelby County and making sure that we're bringing them into our building, whether it's through learning or through opportunities to engage. Our community partners help learning come to life for our students, and so making sure that learning is authentic and relevant, and so our students really get to see that come to life and put into practice some of the concepts that we teach from day to day. Some opportunities that we have for growth, after we analyzed our KSA data, we actually did that this morning as a staff, and so we identified our students who are falling in those bubble groups. And when I say bubble group, what I mean by that is those students who are so close to either moving from novice to apprentice or apprentice to proficient or proficient to distinguished. And we're talking about 30% of kids who are falling in those categories are within 5 points of moving to that next level. And so naming and claiming every single one of those kids, so they're not just a number, they're not just a percentage point, it is a name. And so when those kids walk into those classrooms every single day, the teacher knows that is who I'm going to move today. And so we've got a lot of students falling in those categories, and after a deep dive with not just our certified staff, but our classified staff as well, I think we're feeling confident coming back from fall break to really implement some good instructional strategies to help close the gaps for these kids. Another opportunity for growth, we are targeted TSI for Hispanic and EL population, and so we have refined our newcomer note this year, making sure that we're implementing our WonderWorks intervention program, which we were able to purchase and secure through another grant through KDE, making sure that we are really building those language skills for our EL learners so that they are successful in the gen ed classroom when they're receiving that core instruction. And so we definitely see that opportunity for growth when thinking about that particular population of Painted Stone. So I mentioned this earlier, which is a strength of our school, and it's just the coaching. And so one focus as a school is to coach our teachers and grow our teachers. When you think about what is going to have the greatest impact in the classroom, it's our teachers, and so we need to invest in them and grow in them. And so one focus in our building is to make sure we're providing feedback, we're providing coaching opportunities, we're providing professional development so that we're growing our teachers to impact our students. Another focus for Painted Stone this year is the work of a PLC, and so we partnered with Solution Tree, really making sure that we are honing in on the Kentucky academic standards, and we know exactly what we want to teach our students, communicate that to students, and then allow our students to communicate that back to us. So do students know what they need to walk away with after a lesson every day? And so making sure we're naming those learning targets, naming that success criteria, but in addition to that, are we assessing the right thing? So we've got to assess our kids on the Kentucky academic standards to make sure that they have reached mastery. And so writing those common assessments to measure mastery of skills for our kids is also a focus. In addition to that, making sure that as we analyze data, right, we can be data rich, very data rich, but if we're not letting it impact our decisions as educators, then we're not going to change learning for kids. And so how are we using the data to inform our instructional decisions from day to day, even minute to minute in the classroom? So I would definitely say that that work of the PLC is a very big focus for Painted Stone. In addition to that, we have trained a lot of our staff in UFLA, which is a phonics program that is being offered through OVEC. And so we have found that through our assessments with our students, a lot of our kids are missing our reading foundational skills. And so making sure that we're going back and teaching those foundational skills, which will ultimately impact their reading fluency and then help support their reading comprehension. So the UFLA professional development is a big focus, and then our successful start that we have going in kindergarten, continuing that program so that our students are receiving the foundational literacy skills that they need. For this year in particular, we are still focusing on student growth. We owe every child that walks through our doors at minimum 1 year's worth of growth. And so many of our students have learning gaps that span across 2, 3, 4 years. And so we have got to speed up our rate of growth for students. And so we are committed this year to growing kids more than one grade level per school year. And so that is definitely one of our big goals at Painted Stone. We're going to continue to move students out of novice towards proficiency, and while I like to think that that's going to happen overnight, when you've got learning gaps that large, you just can't close them in a year. And so we are still working towards that big goal that we had last year, and today we dove into it even deeper. We saw students move through novice. Kids who might not have fallen on that bubble are now on the bubble, and so we're moving them, and we just need to keep moving them. And so that's our staff's big goal this year. I think what brought me back to Painted Stone was just the love that we shared for one another, and whether it's staff to staff, staff to student, student to student, our families to staff, our student to family, the love that the community of Painted Stone shares makes me proud to be a member of that community, and ultimately it's what brought me back to this community. Our teachers go above and beyond and put in the time and the work to provide our students the best experience that they can, whether that is learning addition, subtraction in math, or mastering those phonics skills in reading, or even working late to put on a Latino night to bring in our EL families, or trunk or treat that's happening after fall break. Our teachers go above and beyond to provide engaging and exciting experiences for our kids. And so, that makes me proud of my staff and my school community, but it also makes me proud to work alongside them every day. And so I'm honored to be a member of the Painted Stone community, and we're going to continue staying committed to our students and growing them both academically but also socially and emotionally as well.